Hello, and welcome to the home studio. I'm your host. Yeah, I don't know my name. No, it's Mr. Wilbur. I promise. So, I don't have your all's paper here. I left it at school. But we are on week 5. It is the week of March 1st through the 5th. And we are doing what's called the Worm's Eye City. Okay? That means it would be like if you were a tourist, if you've ever been to a big city, and you can always tell a tourist, because I've been a tourist a lot, because they're the people that are always walking around like this. Because we're not used to a big city. So we are going to be drawing the city as if we're looking up. Okay? Like you're a worm looking up. Now the best way to start this one, in my opinion, is by starting at the bottom and working our way up. So the best way that I found to do this is if you would start with a dot. Alright? Draw a straight line down. In order to make this look like it's looking up, you need to make sure that you draw an arrow like this. Okay? And then, as a building comes down, it would get wider because you're looking up at it. Albert, please be quiet. So I'm going to stretch those out a little bit. Okay? My next building next, and cities are packed, guys. So my next building, I'm going to start here with a dot. Draw a line. Draw a line. Over. As it comes down, it gets wider. This one makes this building overlap this building. We'll make this one a little taller. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building layers to the city. Now, the thing about it is this could be a future city. Okay? You can make it a future city. Albert, please. Thank you. You can put things on top of here. Maybe you want a dome on top of this building. Why? I don't know. You just do. Maybe this is a planetarium. Maybe this is, it wouldn't necessarily be a good place for one, but maybe it's an observatory thing. Usually observatories aren't in a city, but we could make it like this. Maybe it's a special spy satellite watcher or something. Okay? So it's looking out into space. As you go up, the buildings will get smaller on top, but wider in the bottom. So, my next layer has to be taller than this layer. So I'm going to go... I can just start with the arrow, but if you want to use the dots, you use the dots. Try your best not to have lines that start and stop on the same place. So when this one does, I'm going to make sure it comes over here. That way it makes it look like this is overlapping this. Okay? I can make them run off the page. And don't make them all the same height. All right? Maybe I want to make a super skyscraper. Wee tiny on top because it's way far away. But big down here near the bottom because as it comes down, it gets wider. Now, if something's going to be that tall, we will have to put on top of it a little dome or something because we have to have a light up here, so that airplanes don't run into it, okay? But like I said, this could be a future city, so you might have to watch out for flying saucers that run on Cheerios. Whoa, don't run into that. All right? You might have flying cars. Some cars, it flies, but it also has wheels for it may have to land. And it may run on... Oh, we'll make them run on Cheerios. Because if I was going to make it run on cheese, but if it ran on cheese, like think of all the cheese that would fall over your city. I'd hate to be underneath that. You're like, oh man, I'm covered in cheddar. What is up with this, man? Without any chips, too. No chips. All right. And Cheerios don't taste good with cheese. Or do they? I'm going to try that. Somebody else try that. Let me know. Cheerios and cheese. Sounds good. So you want to fill up this whole thing back here with different kinds and different shapes. You can sit there and go, do, I'm coming down. Oh, look at that. It's the Arrowhead building. That might have a Native American, that might be the Native American Museum. And it's like a big giant arrowhead. Could be a sports arena. You never know. And you can label these. Okay, so say this is say this right here is the maybe it's the hockey center. Okay, so you can label the buildings, fill it up. Now, let's talk, Albert. No, please. Let's talk windows. Windows can, see this line? See that lean? You want to make sure that your windows have that same lean. Sometimes windows are long, and then they branch off like this. Sometimes, since it's here at the hockey center, you might have a big glass window so that people can see as everybody goes into the stadium. Okay? So you have to put windows on all this. All right, now I am not going to draw too much more, but I'm going to show you my example. All right, so this is a future city. You can make a future city. All right, you could have people, down here. You might have superheroes in your city. Who knows? You could have, I know it's a stick person, but he's kind of a bubble person, and that's okay because he's way far away. Maybe I've got a super person standing on top of this building. Dun, dun, dun. Right? Maybe I've got him swinging through the building. Maybe like Spider-Man. Okay? So you can put superheroes in there. All right? All right, let me show you my finished example. And the wonderful thing about buildings is, because this is yours, you can make buildings whatever color you want. All right. This is the Wilbur Art Store building, because this is where I'm buying all my art supplies and selling them. All right? This is the Saucer, the latest in arcade and dining experience hotel. This is all hotel rooms up in here. All right? Up here at the top, we have the best fine dining goes around. And up here in this top part of the Saucer, we have every kind of arcade game. We have bowling. We have, let's see, I thought about a bunch of stuff to go up there today. We have a bowling alley. We have an arcade. We have laser tag. We have indoor skydiving. We have an indoor go-kart racing place. We have a small pool. Okay, it's more than a small pool because it's got slides. We have everything in the world you could ever want to do up here in the Saucer. All right? Then we have just a building over here, a really big building. Notice I made sure I have so nobody gets hit. And then I just have a bunch of business buildings. But my buildings are all different colors. I made some blue and black and orange and brown and yellow and green. And that's the fun part, guys. That's one of the fun parts. Is you get to design your own city. Not too many people can actually say they get to design their own city. All right? Now, with this one, if you want to take, I'm not saying you have to. I will do another video next week. But if you want to take 2 weeks on this one to make sure that you get it to look really good, you can take 2 weeks before you send your picture. I'm not going to complain. Just make sure you fill up the whole thing. I should have filled this up a little bit more, but I was kind of pressed for time, and I did want to see a little bit of sky in there. But go ahead and fill it up, and make sure, remember, we're looking at it from below. So up here, it's going to be angled. As it comes down, it gets fatter, and the farther away they go, They get tinier, except for the saucer because it's above everything. Okay? All right, guys. Have fun. All right? Design a really cool city. All right. What is the capital city in the whole universe? What's the capital city of the universe? The university.